So, hello everybody. Well, this is like a long arm shot, just to let you know. With me I have Pastor Terry, who is our union president and of the Australian Union, and we have Jeff, who is the union director here in Australia. Yeah, for the youth. So I just want to spend a few moments and just speak to Terry and to Jeff. Jeff is going to tell us a little bit more about this beautiful event here, which is Converge. And Terry, as a church leader, he has some information for us, which how many churches we have in Australia, members, and what are the beautiful stories, and maybe what are the challenges that we are facing here as well?
Thank you, Dejan. It's nice to talk to all of you there in the TED. In Australia, we have 620 churches across the entire nation, and we have about 63,000 people who claim to be Seventh-day Adventists. But on any given Sabbath, we have right around 36,000 people in church. What makes Australia quite unique is that at the moment, we are the third largest giving country in the Seventh-day Adventist world, behind America and Brazil. And so that small population gives a significant amount of tithe and offering, which means that we are a wealthy nation. We have a lot of resources, but the challenge that we have in our country is the desire for our people to actually be willing to share the good news of the gospel with their neighbors. And that is becoming a major challenge for us in terms of evangelism.
Yes.
So programs like Converge really are useful in helping us share with our young people, share with our young adults that they are a part of the movement that we have here in Australia for Jesus, particularly as we're planning for the second coming in the context of the three angels' messages. So as Seventh-day Adventists, we have a very clear identity.
Yes.
We have a very clear position as to where we're going. The challenge is actually getting away from our comfort zone and into an environment that is uncomfortable, which I think, Jeff, is what we've really been talking about this weekend. And, you know, with the conversations that you've been having with us, Dejan, you know, in terms of we don't want to be fans, we want to be followers, that's really been very helpful. We can see the Holy Spirit actually working in Australia.
Yes.
And when we're looking at the South Pacific as a whole, we only make up 2.5% of the Seventh-day Adventist world in all of the South Pacific. And of that 2.5%, 10% of that membership is in Australia. The rest of it is in the islands of Papua New Guinea and Solomons and Tonga, Pitcairn and New Zealand. So we find ourselves in a unique position of being resource rich, but movement slow. But we're seeing the Holy Spirit actually working, and I was sharing a couple of stories yesterday with young people of how God is actually making a big difference.
For everybody, Terry did mention yesterday, I just want to let you know that Australia is still growing. It is a small growth, it's a 1%, but it is a still movement forward for sure, which is encouraging to many, I believe. But certainly, as you mentioned, Terry, I think we all a little bit suffering of that comfort zone, especially. We would probably see that in our division as well. So you had one amazing story about a very small church in Western Australia.
Port Hedland Church, which is on the far northwest coast of WA. The WA conference is 1/3 of the country of Australia, with only 2.3 million people living in that entire space. It's like 5 Englands and Great Britains combined is Western Australia by itself. And there's a little a church in Port Hedland that had 10 members, and they had the Chamberlain family who were members there. And the Chamberlain family, you would know from the dingo story of long time ago. The young son, Aidan, became a baptized member 2 years ago, and as a result opened up his home. And this little church of 10 members ended up with 18 baptisms in August of last year. They've got 60 people attending church right now. Yesterday, they had 3 more baptisms from that group of people that were doing Bible studies with them. And we're seeing the power of the Holy Spirit working through hearts and minds of committed Seventh-day Adventists who are wanting to actually make a big difference.
So for everybody, and you know, Jeff as well, we're going to talk now a little bit more about young people, but for everybody in TED as well, we are going through, I would say, you know, in many ways a challenging time in TED, but these stories are possible all across TED as well. And it just takes a couple of people to, or sometimes just one individual to just say, listen, God, let's do something amazing in this little town or wherever we are. So a beautiful, encouraging story to all of us, and thank you so much, Terry, for your leadership here. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to change my arm, and we're going to just we're going to just walk a little bit, Jeff, myself. So we're saying goodbye to Terry. Terry, thank you so much for that. And Jeff, tell us a little bit about Converge Youth Ministries. Of course, our young people are sharing many challenges together. I would say this is a post-Christian world, and I guess Australia is becoming as secular as, I would say, probably England or Europe altogether.
Yeah, well, it's moving in that direction, that's for sure. And we've seen a massive change in the whole concept of Christianity in this country. And the fastest group that's actually growing is those that don't have a religion.
Yes.
And I guess that's similar to Europe, but we're moving in that direction. That's really saddens us, but you know, we see it in Converge here. We see a bunch of nearly 500 Christians that are, well, at least we think, you know, like a bunch of them we don't know about who they are, but they are amazing people. They are just connected with Jesus Christ. They are mostly Seventh-day Adventists,
Yes.
and they are loving Jesus Christ.
Just tell us a little bit about Converge. It's composed, I guess, from if we start, let's say, worships as a main thing, and
Yeah,
and
that's
then
right.
and then after worships, what do you have usually at Converge?
Well-
Maybe I should ask first about age, because then
Yes.
maybe they're not sure what would
Right.
be the average age of the Converge.
Well, they have to be 18, so between 18 and 30, but the average age in past Converges was 22.9, so,
Okay.
so just over that 22 mark.
Yes.
So these are young adults that are either just finishing their schooling and starting in university, or they've taken on and just beginning their career.
Okay.
So-
And so very much, you know, we would define it, I guess, as a young adult ministry.
Absolutely,
And,
yes.
and it's this is a group probably that we will probably struggle the most, I would say. And we had a beautiful youth congress in Finland. Maybe you saw that.
I did, yes.
And certainly it is not easy always to get that group here. So it's 500 people. So we have worship here, and then after worship, usually you have a beautiful.
Well, we call it Converge Fest. The whole event's called Converge, but Converge Fest is like a festival.
Okay.
Where they come together, and what we want is we want our young adults to be able to interact together and to meet each other. And they're from all over Australia. They've come in from every state. And we just want our Adventist kids, our Adventist young adults, to actually connect.
Yes.
And when we get together in a bigger group, I think they can see the importance of working as a bigger team, instead of in my local church where I might only have 3 of us in a
Yes.
small church, where I can come now and I see that, oh, wow, there's so many more of me here.
Yes, that's right.
And it's amazing.
After the worships, we're going to keep walking, Jeff. We have a small, I guess, cafe area, which is a social area. I guess a lot of your youth directors are serving really well. It's in fact a good teamwork. And then we had this morning, we just came out, and that is a workshop, and it was done by Moy. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. So there's 2 things we want to focus on. The night events, or the main keynote presentations, it's all about my heart and where I'm going, and my journey, and how I'm growing as a disciple of Jesus Christ.
Yes.
The mornings, where Moy has been taking it, it's all about now, what can I do now that Jesus is really connected with my life? What can I do in the community that I live in? So it's actually action steps. What can I take back to my local church? What can I take back to my youth group? How can I live this out now?
Yes.
And that's what we want to see.
And of course, we found out young people are making beautiful connections, and you can see people getting to know different people,
Yes,
which is
that's
so important. Food is always there. There's some crazy milkshakes done by some very interesting youth directors, just to let you know. And so
Yours is probably more crazy than some of the others.
yes. But all together as well, we are just next to the beach, I guess.
Yes,
And
it's a
so
beautiful
this
part.
afternoon, I guess there will be water activities.
Yes. So Sunday afternoon here, we've had a really high Sabbath, a great night last night, some more this morning, and this afternoon they'll spend an afternoon of full activities on the water,
Yes.
wakeboarding, because of course it's still summer here, beautiful summer, and I know summer's coming your direction soon. But the whole idea is building community, getting our young adults to actually spend the time together and connect. And at night it'll be another high worship where we get together and we'll have a really powerful worship experience.
A massive thank you to Jeff and all the conference directors. Just to let you know, this is a very powerful thing for me, is that Jeff manages to get all his conference directors to come here, because I guess you guys want to connect as well, and you want to worship together, you want to pray together.
They're all very passionate about the young adults of their region, and they want to be involved. And I know we've just come off an extremely busy summer with a big camporee and summer camps and all that sort of thing, but just before university start in another 2 or 3 weeks here in Australia, they want to actually connect with their young adults.
So for everybody who's watching, I personally would like to recommend, if you ever have a chance, I know Australia is not very close to any of our territories, but if you ever have a chance, get in touch with Jeff, with the Australian Union Youth Department, and certainly come and visit and be part of the Converge. And I would like to also invite everybody who is watching, if it's possible, keep Australian Union and our young people here in your prayers as well. We are one team, one family, and we just want the best for them. And I believe the best for us is if we want them to love Jesus and make that commitment for Him. So. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.
And if you have a moment, leave us a comment. What did you love the most from the Converge? As you saw some of the footage I shared with you. And don't forget to like, and by God's grace, see you in the next video.